Alright, the Glen track guide. Yeah, I don't really know where to begin, but I do like this place, but so does everybody else, so the speeds are going to be pretty close to one another, depending on who you get. Anyways, I would have keys to the race car, but just take note of your tires, especially the fronts. Carousel wants to eat them. And that's pretty much it. Track limits almost don't exist till they made a stupid change today, which involved that left-hand curve back there. It's a 1X now, so let's not worry about that. I'm just gonna go ahead and get to the lap, and then we'll just talk about it. Alright, so here we are. About to take our lap, fix it up, fix weather. Well, the weather just became whatever you see on screen there. 10 something, I can't quite read it right now, so yeah. Ran a 1091. Only changes I made, just brake bias down to like 46.4, 46.2, somewhere in that area. And the steering ratio, I just bumped it up to a 264 just because I don't want to be steering like crazy. So it was the first lap that was it the first lap I got it done? I honestly don't remember. I'm going to say yes to the one and done. So yeah, here we go. Well, there we have it. You can see the lap time there. Let me back that up. Alright, so I made a mistake. What I said I did for the car adjustments, I also changed the master cylinders. Both of them I went, it would be up the list, not down the list. So actually, physically up. It'd be just the one click, I think, to each one. To a 27-30 seconds, I think. I'm not entirely sure. But that does play a role in this. So, as you saw there, the final corner, I don't really know what to use gear-wise. The build-up to the lap, which you didn't see, I was in third gear, which is what it's at now. But at the end of the lap, you can see I was in second. So yeah, that's just something you would have to mess with to see what you like. So we're going to look here. I'm going to pause it right here. So we're going to look right here. Pause it right here at the 500, 400 and so on. Basically between the 5 and 4. I'm going to be braking pretty heavy. If you didn't make the brake cylinder changes, you would be pretty much to the floor or close to it. So let me slow-mo it. I'm braking right about here. Pretty heavy braking, any heavier with this brake cylinder line up, and it might lock up. That is a lot of brake. I did not realize I was using that much. Holy. You can see I grabbed a couple downshifts all the way down to second gear. You can see I grabbed a couple downshifts all the way to second gear. I might have turned it just a little bit early, but there's kind of a reason for that. It's because we're not bound like the real guys are now, because they added stupid tire bundles. Yes, it's stupid, I'm sorry, but someone's going to hit him, bounce onto the track, and we're going to have another David Reagan flipping, or Rudum, I don't remember. One of them two flipping the damn car. But let's not worry about that. So we want to touch, if you look carefully, there's two stages of this right side curb. Like here you can see right, you got two little edges. The big fat ass edge over there on the right. you want to avoid because it'll ruin everything. But you do kind of want to graze this inner one that I'm on right now. Now, under normal circumstances, I would have said to stay wider to the entry of 1, but we're NIS, so we're actually going to use the track still and then go beyond. Insert Super Saiyan 3 Goku right there. And you can see I use all of it, but I wasn't exactly full throttle because the car gets really upset. So I'm going to play this on full speed. Shift up to 3rd. Car does get a little loose there. You can see I'm lifting. You want to stay right up against this curve. And you can see the minute I was like straight with the line on the right, I'm turning to the left. Any earlier, you'll hit the curb much worse than I did. And it will refuse to turn. Hit it later, like too late, say by the like 2 car lengths later than where I'm at here. It won't turn, you'll hit the wall. And that's basically what you're fighting, is the amount of front grip. The rear is really not an issue here, so let's play it out. See, up here to the 4th as I was turning here, be right up against the curb. But you are pretty much maximizing the grip on the front tires. It does not like it whatsoever. Alright, so I'm going to pause it here. You can see the little sliver of brake already. At the 600 marker, you could probably hit it a little bit later than this, but I don't go to 2nd gear here, so I kind of had to make some sacrifices. So again, we're going to go grab a couple of downshifts from 4th to 3rd using our threshold. Braking, you can see that's how heavy the brake is. I'm starting to trail off as I get closer to this curb. Now here you can't really get much more over it now because they added a 1X for some stupid reason. We're aiming for that next curb, which they also added another 1X. So if you take the amount that you see in this video, you will get a 1X for it. I'm just not going to update this lap because again, you already know why. So 3rd gear as far as I go. You could go to 2nd gear. And honestly, I was bitching about a second ago, but I can see why they put a 1X there. I abused the shit out of that. Oddly enough, there's not one on this curb. So kind of ride it. Use a little bit of trail brake into this corner. You can't even see it, but I did indeed tap the brake there. Use most of the runoff. You don't really gotta worry about it. So let's go to this next brake zone, and you're pretty much smacking the limiter. You see a 400 up there, whatever that says on the right. Let me slow-mo it. I'm going to be braking pretty heavily right before that 400. And we're downshifting to 3rd gear. You could go 2nd, but there's really no point. Trail brake again, get right to the start of this white line. Start throttling up the minute you touch that curb. Now you can go way wide here. I just don't think it's really gaining anything. I just straddle the curb, and be careful here because it will snap from under you if you take too much of it or stay full throttle. So yeah. And final corner, you can see I straightened up, and that's what I'm getting on the brakes. And this is where you make that decision to stay in 3rd gear or 2nd gear. If you're in 2nd, you can go a little bit later than I did, but I did use 2nd. That's just to get the rotation. And pretty much once you hit apex, throttle up. Once you straighten up, full throttle it. If too early, you'll do that. You'll get a little bit sideways, but don't worry about it. And there you are for your 109. Alright, that's it for this track guide. It's a road course. Not really a lot of corners because it's a short layout, but typical stuff. Braking, shifting, and turning both ways. Not something we do too often, but it is a very fun track in these cars. So I don't know what the next track is, but I guess we'll find out.